Introducing the 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe, a midsize crossover SUV designed with road tripping families in mind, thanks to its 3 rows of seats. Hello and welcome back to Everyman Driver. I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks so much for watching. Before we get started, please sign up for our monthly newsletter. It's free and features an overview of our recent articles, car reviews, and podcast episodes from the previous month. You can sign up with a link in the description below this video or go to everymandriver.com. This vehicle was redesigned in 2013, as was the Sport, and has much more room, style, and comfort than ever before. It's available in 2 trim levels, the GLS and the Limited, and I had the Limited, both with the option of front wheel or all-wheel drive. Overall, the Santa Fe is mostly unchanged for 2014. The only new elements to note are HID headlights, LED taillights, cooled or ventilated front seats, plus the premium package now includes blind spot monitoring. Let's get started now by popping the hood. Here we have a 3.3-liter V6 engine mated to a smooth and responsive 6-speed automatic transmission. This kicks out 290 horsepower, 252 pound-feet of torque. As far as fuel economy numbers though, disappointing. I've been averaging around 16 miles per gallon. It's rated at 18 city and around 24 or 25 on the highway. And depending if you go with the front wheel or all-wheel drive, this vehicle weighs between 3,900 and 4,300 pounds and has a towing capacity of up to 5,000 pounds. The fuel tank is 18.8 gallons and the recommended fuel type, regular unleaded. Let's take a look at your real-world legroom and headroom inside the Santa Fe, and this is probably the biggest selling point of this vehicle, in my opinion, is this middle row of seats. This comes in a 6 and 7 passenger configuration. We have the 6 passenger configuration. As far as legroom behind the driver, I'm 5'11", and this was my position as a driver. And I've got plenty of room between my knees and the back of the seat. In fact, there's even an indent here behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat for knee room. Also included is the ventilated options I mentioned earlier. Headroom is phenomenal thanks in large part to this panoramic sunroof, which is available on the Limited trim level, and an upgrade as part of the technology package for an extra $2,900, but in my opinion, it is worth it. Look how much space this creates. The atmosphere, I feel like I'm in a botanical gardens or an aquarium of some kind. It's just gorgeous. There's also 4 blank handles all the way around. There's a screen here to keep out the sun on both passenger sides of the windows, which I like. The seats are fairly comfortable. One thing I really like about these seats, which I think is that large selling point, is the fact that you have seat travel to give yourself more room and give the person behind you more room, but also there is a reclining feature. Now we're talking road trips, people. This is what you're looking for in a road trip vehicle for adults or for kids. Now, when it comes to the 3rd row, this is an area where people are probably going to have a make or break it. It's easy to get back there, which I really like. But once back here, you're fairly cramped. My knees behind this seat are right up against it. Headroom is compromised, even though there is a little bit of an indent here in the ceiling. It's tight. So, recommendation, smaller adults or children here in the back row, and they'll be comfortable, and you will be too, as long as you're in the middle row or the front 2 seats. You have a couple of ways to open the trunk lid of the Santa Fe for 2014. You basically have to use the key fob, or if the vehicle is unlocked, then you can press the black button just below the Hyundai icon. Once you do, it has to go up manually. You can't force it up, so just be patient, no big deal. And when you're done, there's a button right here along the edge. Push that, it'll come down on its own as well, so hands-free that way. Behind this 3rd row of seats is not a lot of space, 13.5 cubic feet of volume, and I brought just one piece of luggage to show you in perspective what that looks like. And unfortunately, when this goes down, it's going to come up against the piece of luggage and then bounce back up. So in a way, it's a safety feature, because if there is something blocking it, you know you won't have an issue. It'll come back up and let you know. So take that out and just be aware, 13.5. You can fold these 3rd row seats down, and they do fold down flat, which I like, and that increases your cargo volume to 40 cubic feet. Fold down even the 2nd row, you get about 80 cubic feet of volume. So pretty decent in terms of overall cargo space. I like that. And just below the floorboard, you have a spare tire kit down here, as well as a jack kit. As far as the overall ride and handling behind the wheel this week for me, I've really had a good time with it. I think the steering is right where it should be, not too heavy, maybe a little bit on the light side, but it's okay. The suspension and handling around corners has been good. I wouldn't say it floats. It is a bigger vehicle, not as big as the Sport, obviously, so you're not getting that sportiness feel. But considering that you're going to be doing some road tripping in this car, most likely, and maybe doing some family hauling, I think it's an excellent choice. And I think families will be happy to hear that the Santa Fe received the highest grades possible on crash worthiness based on the 2014 Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. So I did that research and found out it scored good marks across the board. Now, a few of the big picture advantages of the Santa Fe for 2014 is the available all-wheel drive, 6 or 7 passenger seating options. As I mentioned before, this is the 6. A classy interior design, a strong V6, lots of standard features for the money, and an easy-to-use electronic interface and a lengthy warranty. After speaking with Melissa, our Everywoman driver, a few of the areas that we think could improve are having more than one engine option. We both agree the rear visibility is slightly hampered. There's no rear seat entertainment option and less cargo capacity than some of its competitors. And some of those competitors include the Chevy Traverse, the Ford Explorer, Nissan Pathfinder, and the Mazda CX-9. In the spirit of full disclosure, here are some numbers behind the wheel of the Santa Fe for me this week. I've driven 140 miles, I've averaged 17 miles per hour, and have been behind the wheel for 8 hours and 42 minutes so far. And I have averaged 15.3 miles per gallon. It has been fluctuating between 15.5 and 16 miles per gallon in mixed driving. And based on this, I have a range of 160 miles left on this full tank of gas. Now, the beginning MSRP here on the 2014 Hyundai Santa Fe is between $30,000 and $36,000. My vehicle, as tested with the technology package and the limited trim level, is just over 40 grand. I think it's a pretty good value if you take away the poor gas mileage that I've experienced this week and the lack of headroom and legroom in the third row. Other than that, I think it's a great looking car, comfortable to drive, some decent amenities. It's worth a look and a test drive. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson with Everyman Driver. Thanks for watching.